Hi, I'm Jenny from the plot, and this is my allotment. Welcome to my lady garden.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. No matter where I go, I know where I came from. I'm down to earth.
I fear I have angered the birds because I didn't refill the feeders last time. It's just gone. They've just had it. They've just taken it. I can't see it anywhere. I feel like I'm looking over my shoulder the whole time. They've also done this. One of Linda's sunflowers that I was going to plant out today has been taken. I think that was bird revenge. So the first thing I'm going to do today is refill the one remaining bird feeder before I get into real trouble. And then I will tell you what my main job of today is. So I've refilled the bird feeder. I hope that will appease them for now. So today I'm just going to focus on one bed, and it's the pea bed, because as you know, some of my peas are flying and some are dying. And I think it's probably because they're having to compete with such a lot of weeds. Now, my excuse for having weeds in that bed is that it's right next to Siegfried's toad hole. Now, if you don't know, Siegfried is a toad that I found on the plot, and we made a little home for it. But I don't know if he's still there. It's probably a bit too hot and dry for toads. Plus, the water dish that I had in front of the toad hole, I stepped on and broke. It was only plastic, and I broke it when I was planting out the peas. So he doesn't even have any water there, which is not very good. So I suspect he's probably moved to his summer residence, somewhere nice and cool and damp. But I have read that toads do return to the same spot. So I'm hoping he'll come back, maybe. I want that bed to be successfully growing things, but I also want Siegfried to have a nice home to come back to when he does, if and when he does decide to return. So to help me today, I have two new receptacles. I have a ceramic dish that I bought in a charity shop for £1. I've already popped some stones in, so that's more sturdy. If I step on that, I'm not going to break it. So that I'm going to put outside his hole, fill it with some water so he's got somewhere to splash around in. Toads don't need ponds the same way that frogs do. They don't need to be in water, but they do need water nearby to keep their skin moist. So there we go, Siegfried. £1 just for you. The other receptacle I have, and it's got some things in it at the moment, is this. This incredible trug. Look at the size of it for a start. My mum and dad went to East Sussex, which apparently is the home of trug making. They went to a place that made trugs, and they ordered me the largest one you can get. So this was handmade to order. I mean, I'm just stunned. I think it's absolutely, it's a work of art. It's just beautiful. And it wasn't cheap, but they gave it to me as a very, very, very early birthday present. So I'm quite happy with that. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Mum and Dad. What a great gift. So I'm going to use it today. I hate to christen it with weeds, but I'm afraid that's my first job. I'm going to have to get the net off and weed that bed thoroughly. So let's get on with that. So I'm halfway through. This is absolutely painstaking work. The weeds are growing so thickly, it's hard to tell what's pea and what's weed. And I've had a couple of mishaps, but I think these peas were not doing brilliantly anyway, so I'm not too upset. It's already looking better. I've got to go over to the other side now. I've got a couple of self-seeded nasturtiums, which I don't know, there's one over here. I don't know if I should leave them where they are or dig them up and move them somewhere. I've just tied the net that the peas are climbing onto a little bit tighter because they were all sort of trailing on the floor. And nobody wants a saggy net, let's face it. No saggy nets for me, please. Well, I knew this was going to be a big job today. It's now technically this evening and my camera ran out of battery. I had to go home and have some sustenance, but I did carry on and get a lot of prep done. I'll show you what I've done and then I'm going to do a little bit of planting out. It's been a whole day at the plot. And actually, it's rather lovely, but I am already exhausted. So the peas have been weeded. I've left the peas that are doing all right. And I've taken out the peas that were dying. And I've left the calendula. Now on Siegfried's hole, I have buried it essentially with soil and with compost. So I'm going to plant into that. I've left his little stone marker, which I will repaint. And down there in the shadow, that's where I'm going to put his dish of water. Mo's pea beans need to go out. I had a word with Steve at number 9. And he said he'd never tried growing this variety before, but he thought as they were beans, they would probably prefer to be up canes. However, I'm running a little low on very long canes, so I'm going to put some of them where the dying peas were, and some of them I'm going to grow up this teepee. Super tired. I keep wandering around thinking, what am I doing next? I know I need to water everything. I need to mulch everything. But I think first I'll get Siegfried's dish of water in and plant up the top of Siegfried's hole. So let me show you what I'm going to do. So I have a couple of little teeny, I think they're called lobelia or lobelia? Not really sure. But they're trailing plants. They're quite good for hanging baskets and things. I got these in the same charity shop where I got the dish, and they were £1 each too, so that was quite nice. So I've got those. We'll have one there, and we'll have one there. And I also got some ajuga, 2 different kinds. This was a recommendation from Linda. Thank you, Linda. And these give good ground cover, so they kind of creep. I've got a little one and a big one, 2 different varieties. This one is brown hertz, and this one is chocolate chip. So I'm going to put the big one on the kind of big mound. It'll go in there. Oh, maybe or maybe not. And I'll put the little one here. Right, let's refurb Siegfried's hole. Yes, I am super tired. I just singularly failed to record me doing any of that. But the plants are in, everything's strolched, the water dish is in and it's filled. I do hope Siegfried likes strolch. Last thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to rewrite his sign, and then maybe he might come back. Well, that's it from me for today. I am going home to bed. I hope you have a lovely allotmenting weekend and feel more energetic than I do. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.